Okay, our second presenter today is Patricia Shea. Patricia is a high school counsellor here at ACS Cobham. Patricia is sharing the work that she has been doing this year on cultivating caring contributors.
Hello, I'm Patricia Shea. I chose to take on this CIM research project because service activities and service learning in particular have long been an important part of my life's journey. When I was teaching an employability skills course at a U.S. high school, I took my students out into the community for volunteer activities such as serving lunch at a homeless shelter and reading with primary school students. The benefits for the high school students from these opportunities were apparent, not least in their growth in self-confidence and increased empathy for others. My passionate interest in this area has also led me to earn a PhD in education focused on school-community partnerships, often the basis of service learning experiences for students. At ACS Cobham, I've been the high school club and activity coordinator over the past few years and have enjoyed working with students and staff to improve the quality of the service experiences of our students. I took on the lead role with our ACS Cobham Service Learning Committee to work with colleagues across the divisions interested in this area. I've done professional development in this area as well as organizing a 2-day service learning workshop at ACS Cobham in November 2017 with internationally known educator Kathy Berger-Kay. Teachers and administrators representing all 4 ACS campuses participated in this workshop, which was a remarkable feat in itself. 2 key concepts that I've come to consider crucial in planning quality service learning experience for students are reflection and reciprocity. Reflection refers to the opportunities that students have to think, write about, and discuss their service learning experiences so they can integrate what they have learned with their previous knowledge. Reciprocity is the concept that students involved in service learning activities are not only helping others, but they are also benefiting from their interactions and experiences. I'm going to challenge you to remember these 2 concepts, reflection and reciprocity, as we will see them in action a little bit later. In discussion with others after that service learning workshop, it became clear to me that these 3 strands of service learning, global citizenship, and learning for sustainability are very much intertwined and can be viewed as the foundation for a program to develop students' skills as caring contributors. Currently, there is not a systematic approach to the design, provision, and assessment of potentially transformative learning experiences which are grounded in learning for sustainability, service learning, and global citizenship to deliver the learning outcomes and competencies associated with caring contributors. The research question for this CIM project has been to work with teachers across the Cobham divisions of lower, middle, and high schools to establish such a systematic approach. In support of the CIM project, we worked in partnership with Dr. Christina Hinton and her team at Research Schools International, which is part of the Harvard Graduate School of Education. The RSI team provided us with a literature review of service learning, global citizenship, and learning for sustainability. The research-based practices noted in the literature review included providing students with volunteer opportunities in the community, teaching them how to see issues from perspectives other than their own, and service learning as a way to connect academics, personal growth, and civic responsibility with community action. RSI also produced for us a comprehensive resource of evidence-based lesson plans that support the development of the caring contributor skills across the grade levels. This valuable resource will be shared with the teachers participating in the CIM project to give them exemplars of best practice and inspiration for the future. The 9 Cobham teachers attended a 1-day workshop in March, which was led by Ben Wren, to consider the concept of being a difference maker and how they could how they could develop a systematic approach to creating lesson or unit plans that deliver the learner outcomes and competencies associated with caring contributors. Ben was also available the day after the workshop for individual consultations with the teachers to further refine their plans. As far as data collection, the teachers who participated in the workshop have been asked to collect qualitative data by keeping a journal or reflections log of their experiences in carrying out the lesson plans developed in the workshop. And also they will be collecting survey data regarding the students' experiences before and after the lessons to measure the impact on their development as caring contributors. The research process for this project is ongoing in terms of data collection and analysis, as all the teachers were asked to submit their final data to me by the end of May. As one example, I'm delighted to be able to share with you Karen Hirschleb's work with her grade 11 English students. Karen created a unit for her students to plan and then participate in a collaborative learning experience with 8 visiting students from the Dr. Alpo School in Namibia. At ACS Cobham, there's been an annual Namibia project for the past 2 decades in which a group of about 20 grade 11 students prepare throughout the school year for making a summer visit to a Namibian community for cultural learning and service activities. This year was only the 2nd time that Namibian students have visited ACS Cobham. The planning activities for the visit focused on the guiding question, how can students from different types of schools learn from each other? Students came up with questions about the Namibian students' experiences, ranging from what sports do you play to what do you want to be when you grow up. Karen created a template for a student-led lesson planner used by the ACS students to prepare for the Namibian visitors. The lesson activities included writing and performing scripts, annotating poems, and creating comic strips. In the final lessons, the ACS and Namibian students learned together about interviewing tips and then interviewed each other. The students used the interviews and work samples from the student-led lessons to create and rehearse their presentations for the ACS board as a culminating activity. What I find particularly fascinating about this unit are the ACS student responses to survey questions about their experiences. Remember those 2 concepts, reflection and reciprocity. You can see in the students' reflections of what they expected before the visit and their thoughtful responses after it, indicating the reciprocal aspect. So here you can see some of the Cobham and ACS students as they are working together. And the questions that this is the Cobham students, that what they were asked. In response to this question, one student said, "In all honesty, I didn't expect much from the students because I knew they came from a place where the education system isn't as sophisticated as the system we have in the UK. I definitely knew they wanted to learn what we learn in the UK." And then the same student's response to the second question was, "I learned that these kids were a lot smarter than I imagined. The only thing that they found difficult was the language of the poems. If these poems were in their language, they would have overachieved in annotating poems. Even with that in mind, they did a phenomenal job at annotating poems in a language they aren't fully familiar in." And then some other responses to this question portray our students' diverse experiences. One student said, "I learned about the life of the students in Namibia and how their experiences were very different from my own." And another student said, "I learned that us and the Namibia kids are very similar and that we share the same values." Teachers, these next 2 comments are for you, which I hope you will see what for a change the students appreciating all of your hard work and efforts, which they don't always take on board. Okay. A few more student reflections after the visit. It was amazing. They were so engaging with the activities and they were so ready to learn. It was an experience that will go through my whole life and I want to go help students more often. Another response, "I learned some of their favorite activities and what they like to do during their free time. I also learned to appreciate all the privileges that I have. Working with these students was one of my favorite memories at ACS. It is so nice knowing that we have made an impact on these kids' lives in just 1 week." And finally, After being with them last week, I felt that we were able to make new friendships. They show so much love and happiness, and it makes me sad to see that the things that they are so grateful for, students at this school just take advantage of. Their attitude towards their goals in life inspire me, and I am so thankful to have had the opportunity to work with them and get to know them last week. I would say yes, the ACS students were glad to have made an impact on their visitors, as we want them to also be aware of the impact their visitors had on them, helping them to learn about concepts such as humility and gratitude, surely important for global citizens, and learning for sustainability. In terms of the positive aspects, the teacher feedback on the workshop design, with the one-day workshop and then the second day with the workshop leader available for individual consultations with the teachers seemed to go very well, and I definitely would consider repeating that. In terms of any negative aspects at this point, we found it's the usual difficulty that we had more teachers who would have liked to participate in the workshop, but with the competing demands of their jobs were simply unable to. But of course, that's part of a teacher's constant struggle. So there's something we would like to be able to offer this opportunity to other teachers as well. As far as looking ahead to the future, I see the CIM project as a significant step forward in our progress at ACS Cobham in developing a systematic approach to supporting our students across lower, middle, and high school to become caring contributors. I've also begun looking at the possibility of using the 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals as the basis of a framework for working with the 3 strands. This work may be useful for teachers working towards these goals at the other ACS campuses, as well as future work in school community partnerships at ACS. Thank you for your attention, and before I finish, I have to say a very heartfelt thank you to Latifa Hassan Ali and Ben Wren for all of their incredible support and encouragement throughout this project.